Alrighty, we are in. Welcome back, guys. Welcome back to another episode of the Playbook Podcast. This is episode 29. Today, it'll just be me and Trey. Jaden is busy tonight, so we're going to go ahead and do this one without him. We miss him, and hopefully he'll be back next week. We're just going to jump right into this before we get started. We had a question. So, 2 episodes ago, one of our viewers asked us a question. We had already recorded the episode that we posted yesterday, so we weren't able to answer it in that video, but we're going to answer it now. Let me pull up the question here. Let me go find it. So the question is from the questionable Q. The questionable Q asking, hopefully not a questionable question, but he said, let me pull it up. I want to get the exact thing, the exact right question here. He said, the question for next week's episode: who is the GOAT of golf and why? So we covered this a while back in a bonus episode. When did we cover this? This was
Thanksgiving week.
So it was, let me see, I have it here. It was a GOAT of Sports episode. It was a while back, but we have not covered that topic since then. And I know that we can just answer it now. Trey is very passionate about this. I'm going to let Trey take this one because he specifically dislikes a portion of this conversation. So I'm going to let you go.
Yeah, so I love golf a lot. It's up there with basketball and football. That's my favorite sports of all time. I enjoy watching it. I'm enjoying playing it. I ain't the best golfer. I mean, I thank God for Lisa Hill for saving my golf swing when some dude almost made me in my career in golf and some of my clubs. But you know what? That's neither here or there. Nick's right. I hate part of this question because here's the deal. Old heads out there in their 60s and 70s and 80s, 50s think Jack Nicklaus is the GOAT of golf because of 18 majors. Well, here's the deal. If you want to go by that story, then Bill Russell's the GOAT of basketball. Dale Earnhardt Sr. is probably the GOAT of NASCAR before he got that atrocious accident that happened. If you want to go that route, then I'd guess Draymond Green's better than Dwayne Wade. He has 4 and D Wade has 3. So this is, but you know what? That's a team sport. This is an individual sport. So here's the deal. Tiger Woods is the greatest golfer of all time. It's not an opinion, it's a fact. If you think it's opinion, then guess what? You really have no idea. You shouldn't talk about golf or sports overall, period. So here's the deal. I'm gonna show you some stats for a second. In their first 22 majors, Jack Nicklaus won 7. Tiger Woods won 8. Jack was over par, plus 40. Tiger Woods was under par, minus 81. Now, over par in golf, and especially the PGA Tour, it's bad. It's bad. And when you're playing with your friends, like me and Nick play, and his mom and Jaden play, it's pretty good because you're just having fun and competing. But in the PGA Tour standards, over par is terrible. Especially in the Masters. The Masters, if you have over par before the cut line, you're gone. You're done. Same with the PGA, same with the US Open, because they're hard courses, and they want to test your knowledge and see how good you really are and your skill level. So, and that standard right there, Tiger Woods is dominant over Jack Nicklaus any day of the week. Now, another stat for you. In the 4 majors Tiger Woods won from 2000 to 2001, he took 55 fewer strokes than his nearest competition. That's insane. That's literally insane. Top of that, head-to-head playoffs, head-to-head in the final round of a tournament or major. He in the majors, he's 14-1 in that standard. He lost one in 2009. Unfortunately, a guy's named Tom something. This Asian guy came out of nowhere, and he just looked like Tiger Woods usually looked, and he kind of ups the Cinderella story basically. But here's the deal: Tiger Woods is the youngest ever to be world number 1. Top
Mm-hmm.
before he became a PGA Tour golfer, he won the national championship in 1996, and at Stanford, he literally obliterated his next opponent. He was 15 under par. His nearest opponent was three under par. That's insane. And he said that's probably the best he's ever swung a golf club in his mind, because he was fast. He was 20 years old. He was just taking over the golf world as within an instant. Okay, and then before that stuff happened, the junior amateurs and then U.S. amateurs, he was dominating those. Like he was dominating those. The 94. This one's insane to me. The 94 amateur open, he was down by 4 matches. It was a match play scenario. He was down by 4. Out of nowhere, this guy comes out of nowhere and hits like from the 11th hole to the 17th. He went on a crazy run, and he literally won. He came back the 17th par green on TPC Sawgrass, which is, by the way, that 17th is a par 3. It's a intimidating shot. You have water everywhere. There's a bunch of golf balls in that water. Literally, that one putt saved him the match, and he won. He won. He obliterated his opponents. So overall, he's a 6-time U.S. amateur winner, more than Bobby Jones. Bobby Jones is probably because he was considered the greatest amateur golfer of all time before Tiger Woods was. Tiger Woods won 6. Bobby Jones won 3. Okay. And then Tiger Woods is owing. He spent the most golf weeks, 683 weeks, and we're number 1. Then there was competitor to that is Greg Norman. Behind him is Dustin Johnson, 135, McIlroy 116, and Faldo 697. And combine those together, they combined for 679 weeks as we're number 1 combined. Tiger still has more than them. Top of that, he has played the most tour events ever in history in the PGA Tour. 373 total plays, more than Jack. He's made overall in the PGA Tour combined, not including majors, he's made 338 cuts in his career. Top of that, after the 97 Masters from 96 to 97, and that span, it took him 291 rounds to be the number one golfer in the world. That's insane. Top of that, his majors, and then top of that, he's finished top 10 in tour 199 times. He has made 142 consecutive cuts. Before him was Ray Norman. He had 113. Okay. The number of world win wise for victors for Tiger Woods, he has 110 in the European Tour. So I can go on and on about Tiger Woods. Top of that, he has 82 wins at 49 years old. So if you want to play, here's the deal. If you're on an argument about Chad Nicklaus' 18 majors, I'm gonna be real with you. You're contradicting yourself just a little bit. Because that's how you know that your Tiger's to go. That's all you can use. That's all you can use is all that. Well, he has 18 majors, Trey. Well, Tiger has 15. He has 82 wins. Well, here's the deal. Back then, U.S. amateurs counted as majors in Jack's era. So if you want to go off that realm, Tiger Woods was 15 plus 6. I don't know. I'm not really good at math, so I'm going to do it right now. 15 plus 6. He has 21 majors combined if you want to do that. 21 majors, basically. And if you want to use a card of that, well, look at him off the course. I don't care about off the course stuff. Here's the deal. If you really look at what happened off the course, I'm going to be real with you. You're literally a judger and you're literally an idiot. Who cares? He admitted it. That was probably the worst time he ever went through in his entire life. He said this on the air. He's told this to a lot of people I've heard too on magazine articles I've read, even on the 21st even after the 25th anniversary of Tiger Woods being on the tour, on a Golf Digest magazine, he said on that magazine, by the way, I regret what I did. If I go back in time, I think I would have changed everything. But here's the deal in America. I know this because I'm in media. People build a pedestal upon you so high. And then once you're up high, okay, we're gonna do everything to knock you down. That's the thing. That's the standard in America. That's the country we live in. Unfortunately, I blame CNN and NBC for that, and National Enquirer for that. So if you want to do that whole realm of Tiger Woods being, guess what? I'm gonna be real with you. You have no heart, and you really have. And where I see it too, because I go to church, so does Nick. You don't have the heart of God, and you shouldn't even be talking sports overall because you're just literally a contradictor yourself. And because you know what, I can tell you stuff people that you like off the air. So you know what, look at let's say Jay-Z or Beyonce. Look at them, but I don't judge you for liking them. I don't like them personally, but you know what, y'all like them, so I'm not gonna go cold hard on you. You know, I don't like Jimmy Fallon or Jimmy Kimmel at all for obvious reasons. They've kind of ruined their ratings big time. But you know what? If you like them, I don't care. Good for you. You know, you like people that are politicians that I don't like. I'm not going to judge you for that. I mean, I disagree. I may disagree with you, but I'm going to say, oh, you know, Trey, you have no. But Tiger Woods is much worse. Well, guess what? Nobody's perfect, people. You know why people do that, Nick? I'm not trying to put a race card here, but that's a little bit. I'm putting a race card right here a little bit because you know what's crazy? In the 2010 Masters, the chairman of Augusta National Golf Club, and 2010 Masters, he played a race card, and that was unacceptable. Go watch the statement he said. The Augusta National Golf Club chairman pulled a race card on Tiger Woods. That was a shame. You know, but you know what? That's the world we live in. And who cares what he did off the course? That doesn't matter on the course. Michael Jordan wasn't perfect. He had gambling problems. He said it himself on Last Dance. He had gambling problems. Kobe Bryant with situation. He cheated on his wife. You know, he did. But he said he said it. He even said it himself. I mean, thank God that love story went out perfectly now because he was considered the greatest dad, greatest husband in the world. You know, same with Steph Curry and Aisha. Aisha said publicly on the record, I'm open for a public relationship. But you know what? But here's the deal. Despite all that stuff, I've watched sports all my life. I watched LeBron play, Tom Brady play, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, Serena Williams, Michael Phelps, Muhammad Ali, Mayweather, Tyson. There's not one athlete in my mind that's more dominant. The mindset Tiger Woods had to be the best golfer ever is insane. So as my book, Tiger Woods is the greatest golfer ever. He took I showed you stats already, basically. I can go on and on about that. But in my book, it's a fact. Jack said it himself. Arnold Palmer said it himself, the late great Arnold Palmer, God rest his soul. Seve Ballesteros, Nick Faldo, Jim Nance, Dan Hicks, anybody you know name in the world that's in sports, they will tell you Eldrick Tiger Woods is the greatest golfer ever. So go ahead, Nick.
Well, after that beautiful soliloquy, 15 minutes pretty much. I don't know how much I can add that wasn't already said. Tiger, I'll just condense what my thoughts are. Tiger is the most dominant athlete ever in his prime, pretty much I think from 2000 to 2010. So about 10 years, he was untouchable. And let me just pull this up here. I should have had this pulled up already, but better late than never. Let me pull this up. So Tiger Woods, so he won a Masters pretty early on in 1997. So we'll go from 1999 to 2008. He won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 majors in 8 years.
That's wild.
He won 13 majors. Just so y'all know, there's 8 majors per year. I'm sorry, there's 4 majors per year. So there's 32 majors in that span. There was 32 majors. Tiger won 13 of them. He won almost half of the available majors to win. That's just the most diabolical, just outrageous thing ever. No one's ever been that dominant. You could say Phelps. You can say Usain Bolt. You can say, whoever you want to. You could say MJ. You could say LeBron. You could say Wilt, whoever, Shaq. Those are all valid, but golf is the hardest sport to be the best at for a long period of time.
Yeah.
Because there's so much. You don't have a team to rely on. It's not a controlled environment. Swimming's a controlled environment. Sprinting's a controlled environment. Like, you're not affected by wind or course conditions or anything like that. Golf, it's you versus the course. And the course can change in so many different ways. Majors are 4 days long of straight. Yeah. So it's just, no one's been that dominant. He's the number one golfer for 683 weeks. Like, come on. And then, of course, 82 PGA Tour wins. He won again in 2019, proving that he can win even out of his prime. And he won in 1997 as a young man. So, yeah, it's Tiger. It's just not very close. So,
and here's the deal. We brought up golf consistency as well. Scottie Scheffler hasn't won anything all this year at all. Last year, around this time, he was winning everything. There was literally an ad on TaylorMade with Nelly, Scotty, champion on Golf Channel. This year, he hasn't won anything. Dustin Johnson, 2021, 2020, 2019 to 2020 was the best golfer in the world. You know what happened that 2021 year? He missed a cut in the Masters. Missed a cut in the PGA Championship. Rory McIlroy, in my opinion, has one of the best swings of all time. The smoothest swing of all time in my book.
yeah, I think he has the prettiest swing.
Yeah, I think it's the prettiest swing of all time because it's so smooth. Tiger was angry. Tiger had an angry swing, but
He had an angry swing, and his back paid for it.
But it was so smooth, though. It was pretty.
It was still a nice. It was still a nice swing. But
I mean,
yeah,
dude.
I mean,
don't know how
obviously,
he
it's
did
a
it.
nice swing. You won 15 majors. Like,
I mean, I don't know how you do that. But golf's a hard sport. McIlroy hasn't won anything in 10 years, 11 years now. Jordan Spieth had a stretch.
Yeah. Take Jordan Spieth's stretch and make it 8 years long. That was prime Tiger.
Yep.
The Tiger Slam, 4 majors in a row. We're never seeing that again unless robots are allowed to play.
Yep.
Yeah. So, Tiger's the GOAT. Thank you for the question. We like questions. We'll answer any question in the comments, if it's appropriate, of course. So, yeah, thank you for the question. The questionable Q, we really appreciate it. We're going to move on to a little bit of college basketball. College basketball has been crazy. It's obviously March Madness. There's a lot going on. We have the bracket out here. I've watched a lot of these games.
Same.
I've obviously watched all of the Texas Tech games because wreck them. But what's been the biggest surprise for you so far this March Madness?
Yeah, I think for me is John Calipari and Arkansas winning. Because, John Calipari hasn't touched the national championship since AD was playing Kentucky. And I'm surprised by that. I was a little surprised about St. John a little bit. They got beat. And then yesterday, I watched the game between in Florida and UConn. I'm not trying to say stuff like, "Oh, Trey, that we're with the refs and all that stuff against it." Those were pretty bad calls last yesterday against the UConn and versus Florida. Those are some bad calls. So here's the deal. I have Duke winning it. I have someone winning it all. We'll get to that later in the subject. But I'll never count on UConn basketball at all with Dan Hurley as coach. I think he's still the best coach in college basketball. He's proved that since Coach K and Roy Williams retired. And I was shocked by the refs yesterday, how they screwed UConn towards the end of the game. And then Tech, that team, we're playing Arkansas, bro, who's tough. They're been a tough team so far.
Yeah. So it's been there's not been a ton of upsets, but there's been a couple good ones. I think the biggest surprise for me so far has been there's been a lot of close upsets. Colorado State and Maryland was awesome. Maryland had a game winner. St. John's being in a 2 seed, losing out to Arkansas was a pretty big upset. Texas sucks. We know that. Sorry, Longhorns fans, but you guys you didn't even belong to be in the first four, and that was proven pretty quickly.
Their fans are annoying too, man. I can't.
Yeah, I think I don't know if there's been a big surprise for me yet. I don't feel like I've been surprised by anything. I'm surprised at. I mean, I was going to say how dominant Duke has been, but no, I'm not really surprised by that at all either. Texas Tech has played extremely well without one of their best players. Chance McMillan has been out, and they dominated Drake earlier. They beat UNC Wilmington after a pretty close back and forth there, even without probably their second or third best player. So that's been good. I was pretty surprised how close the Florida UConn game was. I thought UConn played pretty well. Dan Hurley had some words for the referees after the game. He likes to complain. He said, "Hey, Baylor, I hope they don't do you that bad. Don't worry, Baylor lost by 23. There was nothing the refs could have done to help that game out." But so the Sweet 16 is set up. We're going to have Auburn, Michigan, Ole Miss, Michigan State, Maryland, Florida, Texas Tech, Arkansas, Kentucky, Tennessee, which I think is going to be an awesome game.
Yeah.
Houston, Purdue, BYU, Bama, Duke, Arizona. So what are your predictions for the Sweet 16? Let's just do a Sweet 16 prediction.
Let's do it. I got Michigan winning it against Auburn. I think their best player looks a little inconsistent. Just a little bit. I think Michigan State can actually win. Probably be in the Final Four, to be honest with you. I have Florida winning this game against Maryland. I have Tech beating Arkansas. Tennessee and Kentucky. That's a tough one right there. Tennessee's really good. Oh man, it's tough. I'm coming back to that one. I have Purdue. No, actually, I have Houston winning against Purdue. Houston has a really good basketball school. Really good. Always. Bama, I'm surprised they've been pretty good so far. They kind of beat some bad teams, but you know what? I have Bama winning. I have Duke winning. So, and I have Tennessee winning.
Okay. I'll start and I'll go from Auburn. Yeah, I'll just do it the way that I went. So Auburn, Michigan. I think Auburn's going to win. It's going to be a close game. Ole Miss, Michigan State. I think Ole Miss is going to win. That would be an upset. They're 6th seed. I think they're going to be Michigan State. Florida, Maryland. Maryland is going to give them a run, but I feel like Florida's talent's going to shine through. Texas Tech, Arkansas. You guys might be thinking, oh, well, he's just going to say Tech's going to win because he's a homer. Yeah, Tech's going to win, but I think it's going to be close.
Yeah.
Arkansas is a lot better than a 10 seed, and they showed that by beating St. John's. And I think it's going to be a close game. If Chance McMillan plays, I don't think it will be as close, but if he doesn't play, it'll be a close game. But I think my Red Raiders will pull that out and move on to the Elite Eight. Tennessee, Kentucky. I think Kentucky wins. I think Tennessee's awesome,
Oh, wow.
but I think Kentucky's just going to do the Kentucky thing when it comes time. Houston, Purdue. Houston's winning that. Bama, BYU. I'm conflicted about this one. I think Bama should win pretty easily, but part of me's saying BYU's going to win, and I'm just going to go with that. I'm going to go with my gut over my head. BYU, Duke,
Okay.
Arizona. It's Duke. They're going to win.
They really destroy them. man.
I've watched Arizona play live.
Same.
I went to a Tech Arizona game in person. I watched them play with my own eyes. Cooper Flagg is going to abuse them.
Yeah.
Duke is too big. They're too fast. They're the best team in the country. There's no reason Duke shouldn't win this national championship. They have 3 lottery picks, all freshmen. They have the best player in college. I almost said college football, college basketball. They're the most touted program that's left in this bracket. They have everything going for them. So I just don't see how anyone can beat them. Except, hey, maybe Texas Tech in the finals. I'm kidding. We'll see. But yeah, that's my pick for the Sweet 16. So I'm excited. I'm excited for the Sweet 16. It's going to be good. So we're going to move on to a little bit of some high school / college basketball. So Aaliyah Chavez, she is from Lubbock. If you guys don't know her, she's the #1 recruit in the country for basketball. Tomorrow, she's going to be signing a letter of intent. She's going to say where she's going to be going for college tomorrow. Where do you think she's going to go?
I watched her game on Max Preps, and also here and there on Channel 4 when they do highlights here and Channel 10 as well. And I've talked with the coach too on the radio with Kenny. Man, I think she's gonna sign with Tech. I mean, I know if I'm correct, I think she wants to follow the career of Cheryl Swoops, maybe, because Cheryl Swoops from Lubbock too.
Yeah.
So I think she'll probably follow the career of Cheryl Swoops and go to Tech.
Okay. So there's a lot of her. So she has Texas Tech, Oklahoma, LSU, Texas, UCLA, and South Carolina. Those are all great programs. Obviously, South Carolina's, the women's college program. They're very touted, reigning national championships. So that'd be a good place to go. I think I'm going to do a head and gut thing. Head's telling me she's going to South Carolina. Gut's telling me she's staying here at Tech. But for this one, I'm going to go with my head. I think she's going to sign. I think she's going to sign with South Carolina. I think it's probably too much NIL money, probably too much, a lucrative deal, going to play for a contender. So I think that's going to be what happens. But
she has Don Sealy as a coach if she goes.
Yeah. It's just, man, that's a great spot, and I wouldn't blame her. But yeah, she's, hoping the best for her. I mean, this kind of shows how big women's basketball has gotten, that where we can talk about this and people actually care. And Caitlin Clark's helped a lot with this.
Yeah.
There's a lot of great women basketball players, and a lot of them just didn't have, the opportunity to showcase their skills, and because the game wasn't as popular. And Caitlin Clark has revolutionized that. And, a lot of I think Juju Watkins is going to be awesome. She's a very flashy game. A lot of people are going to tune in to watch her. But yeah, I think it's growing a lot. I think this is pretty evident of that. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you a lot. Caitlin Clark's has been like a transitional for women's basketball. Same with Angel Reese a little bit too. That's kind of like Magic and Bird, when the NBA was on tape delay before Magic and Bird came. Like no one watched the NBA. It was boring. Football was king. And now that Magic and Bird came, and then Jordan came, then Kobe came, then LeBron came, Curry's came, and then KD came. But I mean, I don't know if you saw this, Nick, but Indiana Fever is going to be the most televised sports WNBA team next season coming up. And the top of that, Caitlin Clark too, going as Caitlin Clark's effect.
Yeah.
You should see her jersey sales, bro. They were crazy last year. Even because of her, they're flying on private planes. Before it was on Delta or Southwest or American Airlines. You know who's affected that? Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to shit out any WNBA player. I think Diana Taurasi is the greatest WNBA player of all time. I think Swoops is up there too, and same with Sue Bird, or even Candace Parker too. But nobody was. I'm gonna be real, and Jaden said it too, so I'm gonna say it. Nobody was really watching it. He wasn't watching it, and I was kind of watching it here and there with Sue Bird. But other than that, I didn't really watch it. I had my emotions about it when something happened, but now I watch it because of Caitlin Clark. So
yeah,
and Aaliyah Chavez, good luck to you if you ever watch this podcast. Hopefully you get big enough so I can cover you, me and Nick, in the volume of Colin Cowherd or something like that. But congrats to that's crazy. Aaliyah Chavez, bro, from Lubbock, bro. Number one recruit in the country.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome.
I was there. The one closest thing to come to that, and for Ann Arbor and Lubbock and area, is Brendan Halston.
Yeah,
he went to Kansas and Villanova.
It's it's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome. But we're gonna move on to some NBA. We got some, obviously you guys know what's gonna happen. We're going to talk about the Lakers. Sorry. So the Lakers have actually dropped 3 straight. They actually lost to the Orlando Magic earlier today. So they've lost 3 in a row. And do you think that it should be worry time for the Lakers?
No. I ain't worried. LeBron's coming off an injury. Rui Hachimura is coming back too. He came back. I ain't concerned about the Lakers. You know why? Because you got LeBron and Luka in the playoffs, bro. It's over. It's just the end of regular season. Who cares? No, everybody just messes around in regular season, bro. They just throw their hands up in the air and wave them around and shoot the ball, whatever. They don't really care towards the end of the season because they're ready for the playoffs. So I ain't worried about it. I ain't worried about the Lakers. You know why? SGA, PGA, USA, Lakers in 5. You can bring Orlando Magic and Magic 1, Dwight Howard, Lakers in 5.
Alrighty. So I'm gonna be fair. When the Cavs dropped a couple games, we said we were slightly worried about them. So I'll say this: I'm a little worried about the Lakers. They, LeBron and Rui are back after injury, so it's going to take some time for the offense to acclimate to them being back. Rui is being eased back into the starting lineup. I think that I want to see. I'm going to give them a couple more games. If they still haven't figured it out in 2 or 3 games, I'm going to say it's time to worry. But for now, I'm going to chalk it up to just people coming back from injury and the offense having to acclimate. But we'll see. We'll see about that. So now time to what I really want to talk about. So Trey's guy, Stephen A. Smith, he's been saying some interesting things.
Michael.
So first off, we all know that LeBron went up to Stephen A. Smith and confronted him about his words. And like I said on the pod a couple weeks ago, I think LeBron was talking more about how Stephen A. Smith was talking about LeBron as a father rather than about Bronny, because that's what he told Richard Jefferson. So
Right.
Bronny gets to play an actual, he gets to play some meaningful minutes in the game versus the Bucks, because literally everyone on the Lakers was out. So Bronny got some time. Bronny played 30 minutes. He scored 17 points. He had 5 assists, 3 rebounds. He was 7 for 10 from the field, 2 of 4 from the 3-point line, and 1 of 1 from the free throw line. So he's very efficient. He scored very well. He actually had Giannis on skates. He broke Giannis's ankles. Giannis had to grab his shoulder to, avoid being on Sports Center. But of course, the refs did not blow the whistle because, obviously, why would they do that? Bronny played great. And then the next day on First Take, Stephen A. Smith says, I always knew that Bronny was going to be good. Was going to be good. After 3 months, a couple months ago, pleading with LeBron, saying, please, as a father, LeBron, I beg you to make the stop. And then 3 days ago on First Take, he says that. He says, I always knew Bronny was going to be good. Trey, what's your guy on?
Okay, it kind of disagrees just a little bit, because in 2023, I remember him saying on First Take with, I think, was Keyshawn Johnson, Swag, Marcus Spears, saying that because back then it was Sierra Canyon versus Carmelo Anthony's son's school, where Carmelo went to school in high school, and Stephen A. said that he thought he had potential to become great in the NBA one day. He didn't want to go see him because he didn't want to ruin the hype of him, and then seeing the analyst there, like, always he's going to critique him the next day on First Take. So, and to Stephen A's defense, just a little bit, he knew LeBron would be good in the NBA. I mean, there's even a clip of him before his cardiac arrest during the NBA playoffs last 2023, when he went up to Bronny, shook his hand, congratulated him, and then that next same summer he got a cardiac arrest during playing basketball and USC at the time. So that's a little bit of benefit, but I do think that with this whole situation of LeBron and Stephen A., I think it's probably the funniest beef I've ever seen in my life, bro. It's unexpected, because it's like Kendrick Lamar and Drake. Like, you never thought this would have happened. Because I know Stephen A. is kind of. I know I've seen LeBron and Stephen A. interact on TV a lot, like during he's on the road doing a NBA countdown on ESPN.
Mm-hmm.
They've confronted each other, say, "Hey, what's up, bro? How are you? Show some love." And then next thing you know, this happened. So I think Stephen A. wasn't wrong for that. But here's the deal. I'm gonna go off track with this topic for a second. That Stephen A. Smith is, to me, is the best analyst of all, best sports pundit of all time. But on his podcast, Nick, he said LeBron never had heart when he entered the NBA.
Yeah, and
Jordan.
His reasoning for that was, so I don't know where. I'm going to blame Skip Bayless for this.
I blame Skip Bayless, bro.
Stephen A. Smith's reasoning for LeBron not having heart was he didn't try to go to the foul line. Okay, and he said, when push came to shove, he wouldn't try to get fouled so he could make free throws. And he said this was early on in his career. I have some awesome thing. Stephen A. Smith could honestly just do this too. It's called Basketball Reference. It's free, and it tells you the stats from year to year. It's actually really awesome. So LeBron, his first year in the league, he averaged 5.8 free throws per game, His second year in the league, he averaged 8. His third year in the league, he averaged 10.3. So the fact that Stephen A. Smith was saying he has no heart because he didn't try to get to the foul line, when by year 3 at age 21, he was shooting 10 per game. Does Stephen A. Smith have a wheel of ridiculous things to say, and he spins it before each time he gets on this podcast or First Take, and it lands on one? Oh, boom, that's what I'm going to talk about today. Because honestly, it feels disingenuous. Like, right. Look it up. He shot 10 per game his third year in the league, 8 his second year. Like, I don't know. I don't know about all that. That seems a little disingenuous to me.
Yeah, about the whole heart situation. I kind of disagree with him just a little bit. I disagree with him a lot about that because LeBron at 18 years old was like a kid coming out of high school. He had a heart. I mean, his first game against Tracy McGrady on Christmas Day, he dropped 34 on his head. Literally dropped 34 on Tracy McGrady's head. And McGrady was arguably the best player at the time in the NBA with Kobe, as in that era, before he got hurt. But I think he's just mad because something like that happened on television, and everybody saw it. And then he went viral the next morning because I was in Virginia when it happened. I mean, I'll never forget. I woke up going with Madeline, and then next thing you know, I see Stephen A. and LeBron confronting him. LeBron looked angry. He looked like he was about to fight the guy. But I blame Skip for this too. But also I'm gonna blame a little bit on a bunch of old heads out there who I know.
Yeah.
Saying that, that LeBron's a diva, this and that. Well, if he's a diva, why is he arguably considered the greatest role model of all time for kids? I mean, growing up, he was my role model. Still is to this day. But if you think he's a diva, here's the deal: you hate him because for some reason he's better than Jordan for some reason. Y'all can take that as an insult out there. Y'all bring up the flopping. Well, Reggie Miller flopped all the time. Steph Curry flops all the time too. But I don't know, man. I just think that hate for LeBron's insane. And Stephen A. was just a little upset. He was mad. So he's went on his podcast and let a long let's just go. And for him to say that, I was like, man, come on, Stephen A. Don't do that. Like, he has heart. You said it too. You said it on the record many times that, when LeBron is in the NBA, you will miss him. And everybody will miss the guy. I mean, I'll cry on a podcast, literally.
Yeah, that's going to be a rough day. That's going to be a rough day.
I don't want to talk about that. But anyways, but yeah, it's just like, come on, man. You don't need to go off a realm saying that, why are you bashing Stephen? Why are you going to do that to LeBron? People bring up the Diddy party. Like, dude, if he's on the list, I'll cry. But same time, though, there's 2 parties, and who cares? It's not out yet. It may be soon, but I don't know. But who cares, dude? Y'all do anything in this power to hit this guy, man. Like, Nick, I'm going to give Nick Henry. I hear something real quick where I work at. So, this guy said on the air, LeBron traded Anthony Davis. He was part of the trade. What's your thoughts on that?
What was that? Anthony Davis?
LeBron was part of the trade of AD.
Like for Luka?
Luka and AD, yeah.
Did you just say that someone at your work said that LeBron should have been included in that trade?
No, he was part of the trade.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Like he orchestrated it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I thought you were saying they said he should have been traded with AD. Okay, I got you. So here's what I know. I know AD and LeBron are very close. I know AD and LeBron are best friends. AD's, one of the only guys outside of, Dwayne Wade who really wanted to play with LeBron, and all of the scrutiny that came along with that. He didn't care. They're brothers. And I don't think LeBron had anything to do with the Luka Doncic trade. Rob Pelinka said he didn't have anything to do with it. LeBron said he didn't have anything to do with it. AD and LeBron are still close, which makes me think that LeBron didn't have anything to do with it, because if he did, I feel like that relationship would be a little strained.
Yeah.
LeBron was in the middle of a game when it happened, and I know you guys are going to be like, well, people that think that happened will be like, well, the trade was probably, happening beforehand. Reports are Shams told us that only two people knew, Nico Harrison and Rob Pelinka, and that was it until the trade finally happened. And I'm going to take their word for it. I'm going to take LeBron's word for it. And I'm going to take Rob Pelinka's word for it, because I just think that's a little crazy, that everyone would just think that LeBron would trade his best friend away like nothing. Well, I mean, like, you get Luka, but you know what I mean? Like, LeBron's not the GM, guys. He's not the GM as much as you wish that he were, so you can blame him when bad things happen. He's not the GM, but even though if he was, he's a pretty good GM. He got JJ Redick. He traded for Luka. He's pretty good GM if he was. But
yeah, and he got Kyrie and Kevin Love on his team.
So.
But here's the deal: Jordan traded Dennis Rodman. He wanted Dennis Rodman.
Yeah, he wanted Dennis Rodman.
Go on Netflix, old heads. Go look it up on Netflix. Last Dance, episode 7.
He knows the episode.
Go look it up. Oh, but y'all don't want to go there. They don't want to go there, Nick. They don't want to go there.
Yeah.
Larry Bird wanted freaking Danny H on his team. But they didn't want to go there. Kareem wanted Magic.
Yeah. So that's the thing. But yeah, so that's a little crazy to me. But we'll move on to here. So Steph Curry suffered an injury. He landed on his tailbone pretty hard. There's no structural damage, but he will be out for a while. Let me pull up the good old Warriors here. I know they played a couple days ago. I believe they played Houston. Yeah. Was it or no, not Houston? The Nuggets, I believe. Let me pull them up here.
Yeah, when Jokic and Murray were out.
Yes, that's right. They did. So they played the Nuggets when Jokic and Murray were out, and they lost. They've gone 2-2 since Steph's injury. What do you think about their chances? Do you think this hurts their chances badly? Let me pull up the full standings here. So the only issue would be they want that 6 seed really bad. They are only 1 game clear. So the Timberwolves are a game back and the Clippers are a game back of that 6 seed. They want it really, really badly because, avoiding the play-in. How do you think this hurts their chances, or do you think they can stay afloat without Steph?
I don't know, actually. I don't think so. Because even for Steph, I looked it up right now. They actually plays the Bucks play against the Bucks against the Bucks. And they won, which I was surprised about. So this depends on whose team it is. Is it Jimmy Butler's team or Curry's team? So if it's Jimmy Butler's team, they will probably win. If it's Curry's team, they probably will lose. So I think this hurts us just a little bit. In my opinion, I think Ant-Man is more determined than the Warriors are. So I think the Wolves will take that 6 seed.
Yeah, I think the Wolves will end up being the 6 seed because they've been playing extremely well. Ever since the episode where I said Anthony Edwards could not be the face of the league, he's been averaging like 30 points. So that is proof that Anthony Edwards watches the podcast, which I think is really cool. I'm glad he's proven me wrong. I told him to prove me wrong, and he's doing so. But no, I think that the Timberwolves end up being there.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm worried. Steph Curry is a fantastic player. I think he's the best player on that team. It's his team. He's the leader of the team. So when that guy goes down, it's a little worrisome. I think Jimmy Butler will help them stay afloat. Going 2-2 is really good. Without Steph, they probably would be 0-4 in that stretch. So I think that he will be okay. I am a little worried that they will slip into the play-in, but if that happens, you just got to deal with it and you got to beat who you play against.
Right.
You'll probably be playing the Clippers or the Kings, the Clippers or the Mavs. They should be able to beat all those teams, although the Clippers have been playing extremely well recently. So, I'm a little worried, but I think they'll be fine. So, we'll move on to another Western Conference team here. So the Nuggets beat the Rockets. How many teams do you think are better than the Nuggets in the West?
I got 3.
3. Okay, wow.
I got the Thunder, the Lakers, and the Rockets. Houston. Here's why with the Thunder. Oklahoma City Thunder right now. Right now is number 1 seed in the Western Conference. They have the best player right now in the West right now with SGA. Right now he's probably the win MVP. And
Yeah, for sure.
And if he doesn't get it, then I think something's going on with the NBA. They need to be investigated big time. So right now they are 59-12. SGA, so he didn't score. He leads the team in assists as well, and they have so much depth too in around their roster that they can literally beat anybody probably in the NBA outside the Lakers. But their depth is so good, man. So I got them ahead, Lakers, because I think LeBron and Luka. Here's the deal: I'm not trying to diss on Anthony Davis at all, AD at all, but I think LeBron and Luka actually fit better than AD and LeBron did, because I feel like LeBron pushed AD to be that guy, and AD didn't want to take that baton, and so he choked in the playoffs many times against Jokic, and then he wasn't really there. I mean, at one point in 2023 season, AR 15 was probably the second best player in the Lakers besides LeBron. So that's concerning to me. So I feel like Luka and LeBron actually fit better than they do AD and LeBron wise. So I have right now they're fifth in first in points, 17th in rebounds, and right now they're 5th in defense. Right now the Lakers are, but other than that, I am worried about the Lakers. I'm not. And the Rockets too, because I feel like Ime Udoka has done an exceptional job with that team. With Jalen Green, in my opinion, the best player on that team, Nick, in Houston Rockets, is Jalen Green. He's a baller.
Yeah, he's good.
And you have Dylan Brooks too, who actually probably resurrected his career. And but you know what? He's tough too. He's a good defender as well. I have to admit that. So, as a matter of fact, I have the Thunder, Lakers, and the Rockets over.
Okay. So, I mean, obviously, I have the Thunder. A big shout out to my boy Amish, huge Oklahoma City Thunder fan. He says we don't talk about them enough on the pod. So here you go, Amish. This is for you. The Thunder are the best team in the NBA. There you go. No, I really do believe that they're the most well-rounded team. They are my pick to win it all. That doesn't mean I think they're not the best. I do think they're the best team in the regular season. I think they have the MVP. As much as I dislike watching SGA play basketball because of how much he foul baits, it's just the way it goes. He's still a great player, and we will see what happens when that playoff whistle tightens up a bit. But they're the best team. They're better than the Nuggets. I think the Lakers are better than the Nuggets. When the Lakers are fully coherent and operating at a high level, I think they're better.
Mm-hmm.
I will disagree with you about the Rockets. I don't think the Rockets are better than the Nuggets. One reason: experience. The Rockets are young.
Okay.
I think they have a lot of talent, and maybe a year or two from now they'll be better. But in a series, if it's Nuggets Denver in a series, I'm picking the Nuggets because they have the best player on the floor, and I think Jamal Murray in the playoffs obviously would do something great. So I want to say the Grizzlies are better than the Nuggets, but they keep proving me that they're not. I think that they have more talent than the Nuggets. I think that they have a better team than the Nuggets, but they just, Jaw's health is always, questionable, and it's just a little concerning. And I do think the Timberwolves could be better than the Nuggets too, but again, we'll see.
They swept them in the regular season.
Yeah, they did. The Nuggets struggle versus the Timberwolves. So in a matchup sense, the Timberwolves are better, but overall against someone else, I'm not sure.
And I think that the Wolves too. I think Naz Reid is a big starter, dude. Bench Randall, bro. Bench him.
Yeah, Naz Reid's
a big starter.
Really, really good player. Really good player. But yeah, for sure, Thunder, Lakers, maybe Grizzlies, Timberwolves. And I don't think the Rockets are quite there yet. And that's just where I stand on that. But we're going to move over to some NFL talk. So the draft is coming up pretty soon. We kind of have an idea of, who's drafting where, unless obviously some trades happen. So who do you think is the best player? Not who's going to go first overall, because I think Cam Ward's going first overall, just because the Titans need a quarterback extremely badly. So I think I don't think he's the best player. Who do you think is the best player in the draft?
I'm gonna say Abdul Carter from Penn State.
Yeah,
because that guy's a beast, bro. They say he's better than Micah Parsons coming out of the draft, and I might have to agree with them. Micah Parsons didn't even play his senior year in the college.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Abdul Carter's a beast.
Yeah,
and
he's great.
I think he should. I think he finished. I don't know if he was in contention for winning Heisman last season. I'm not sure. But man, I think for me it's Abdul Carter and Travis Hunter. I get it. I think people might say him a lot, but I think of Travis Hunter's a little bit. I'm gonna be real with you. He ain't playing two ways in football in the NFL. He ain't gonna do it. The NFL is a faster league, hard league, and he's gonna be worn out. And you're telling me that Gary Wilson's gonna cook him, bro. And playing receiver against the best cornerbacks in the NFL right now, and against big people, he ain't gonna be that. He ain't gonna do that. He needs to choose one position. I think in my opinion, he'll be good at cornerback more than receiver.
Yeah, and I've always said that. I've always thought he's a better quarterback. I'm going to agree with you. I think Abdul Carter is the best player. I thought you were going to say Travis Hunter, so I was ready to be the different guy. But I think he's the best player in the draft. He is a freak of nature. He reminds me, I see obviously, same college, so he's going to be compared to Micah Parsons a lot. I think he's better out of college than Micah.
Same.
Micah Parsons was not touted as, and I know a lot of people were worried about Micah's, off the field things, right. But nobody thought Micah was going to go number one. And I think Abdul Carter could go number one. I think Cam Ward will, just because of, quarterback needs. But if the Titans picked Abdul Carter, I wouldn't say anything, because I think next year is going to be a better quarterback class. So if they want to get the best player available, be horrible again, get a great quarterback next year, go for it.
Where do you think Shedeur goes?
So I have some worries for Shedeur, and here's my worries. I think if he doesn't go 3, he might not get drafted till the teens or late teens. So right now it's Tennessee, Cleveland, New York. There's a lot of people believe New York's going to trade up for the 1 and draft Cam Ward. A lot of people think Tennessee will go Cam Ward. But if Tennessee's like, nah, we're good. We know Cleveland's going to pick quarterback. We let the Giants trade up, take Cam Ward. Cleveland picks whoever, and then the Giants or the Tennessee can still get Abdul Carter at 3. Then they might do that. Here's the thing: Tennessee, they need a quarterback. Cleveland, they need a quarterback, but they're paying Deshaun Watson $1 billion still. So it's like concerning there that Cleveland might want to draft best available player and then draft somebody next year. Giants, they need a quarterback, but like the same thing. They might write it out with who they have currently.
Daniel Jones.
Yeah. And so New England, they're not drafting quarterback. Jacksonville's not drafting quarterback. Las Vegas just traded for Geno Smith. They're not going quarterback. New York Jets, they're not going quarterback. Carolina, no. New Orleans just re-upped with Derek Carr. Chicago's obviously not. I don't think San Francisco is. Dallas isn't. Miami isn't. Indianapolis isn't. Atlanta isn't. Arizona isn't. Obviously, Cincinnati and Seattle aren't. Tampa Bay's not. Denver's not. Like, see what I'm saying? When you get past 3, none of those guys are drafting quarterbacks. That's the issue. So my worry for Shador is his name doesn't get called by 3. Because the Jets, a lot of people might say the Jets signed, they got Justin Fields. I think they're just going to let it ride with Justin, at least have an exciting, some kind of player, and then, work on seeing what happens next season. I'm worried for Shador if he doesn't go by 3. I don't, but I'm worried for his paycheck. I'm not worried because if he gets drafted to, I'm just going to try to think of somebody. If he gets drafted to he falls all the way down, and Minnesota is just like, you know what? Let's just draft Shador. Let's just draft him. What if JJ McCarthy sucks? Something like that. It'll be better for his career long term. It'll obviously be very devastating for him, waiting that long for his name to be called, but he'd be in a better situation because I think Cam Ward's going ahead of him. Every mock draft has him ahead of him. Every report has him ahead of him. So Tennessee or the Giants, if he's not picked by one of those guys, he might not get drafted till the late 20s. Oh. So, or early to late 20s. Man. So that is my one concern for him, but we'll see what happens. We will definitely see what happens.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you, but I don't know. I think he might go to the Cowboys, bro.
I don't think the Cowboys are not drafting him, bro.
I just have a feeling he's going to go to the
Cowboys. Dak Prescott's making $900 billion a year, bro. He is not going to the Cowboys. The Cowboys are not drafting Shador. If they draft Shador, Jerry Jones has lost his mind. You're paying Dak Prescott $80 trillion, and you have a decent pick. You have 12. You can get a good player who can make an impact day one. Draft that person. Not saying Shador sucks. I'm saying Dak makes $1 trillion, and you have a decent pick. So please pick somebody else. Please.
I just think Jerry's. I know Jerry's doing something stupid. I already know it.
He might do something stupid. You're not.
I won't be surprised. I won't be surprised if Shador's the Cowboy, bro. I won't be surprised at all.
Yeah, I would not be. I would not be shocked either.
I should cry.
So, yeah, that would suck. But, where do you think Travis Hunter will go? And I have a good number. I already know.
Man, I think the Cowboys need another receiver or cornerback.
The Cowboys have to trade up.
They have to trade something up. I think he. I hope he goes to. I have to say it. I think. I know right now he's projected third in the draft, going to New England, but I don't see that working out at all with Drake May and Travis Hunter because nobody wants to go to New England no more, and because of what happened with Brady and Belichick. So I think reality. I think the Cowboys will trade up.
Do you really think Jerry Jones is that smart?
Maybe Stephen Jones can actually put sense into the guy's mind, bro.
No. Okay, so he's going to New England. I think that's locked in because I think So what I think is going to happen: Tennessee, Cam Ward; Cleveland, Abdul Carter; Giants, Shador. I think New England's going to pick Travis Hunter, and I've always thought that, and I think he'd be a great fit there. So,
Yeah,
that's where I have him going. Who do you think? I mean, you kind of just answered this next question. What do the Cowboys need? You said cornerback Travis Hunter.
but
They
I
need.
think they in reality need a running back.
So I'll tell you what they need. They need a new owner. They
Yeah.
need a new head coach. They need a new quarterback. They need a new offensive line. They need new receivers. They need a new D line. They need a new secondary. They need a new stadium. They need a new name, and they need a new parking lot. And that's what I think they need.
Did you see they got rid of D-Law, bro?
So, do you think Aaron Rodgers is going to go to the Steelers?
I know it's hard. I know it's hard to talk. I know it's hard for the Cowboys. He traded D-Law, man. I can't. I thought it was fake. I thought it was a fake report, but nope. Oh man, sucks being a Cowboys fan.
Yeah, it does. I don't even want to talk about it anymore. So do you think Aaron? Okay, so reports are Aaron Rodgers went to the Steelers over a week. I think it was last weekend.
Yeah.
He leaves without a deal. He left without a deal. The reports are that neither side are close on a deal. So where do you think he's going to go?
I think he needs to retire.
I was going to say he needs to go to the retirement home.
Here's why. I think the Jets was overhyped a little bit, to be real. I mean, dude, here's the deal. I watched The Enigma on Netflix. The guy's a really a diva, and he's a self-centered, arrogant person. I mean, if he went to the Steelers, dude, I will not put him top 5 on my QB list of all time. He will hurt his chance big time and be in that conversation big time. I think he would have ruined his legacy a lot. But if he went to the Steelers, dude, I think Russ is better than him right now in his prime, and he's out of his prime too. I think they both suck. Russ did pretty good last year till the end of the season, but Aaron Rodgers is terrible. He's really bad, and he's retired. Aaron Rodgers retired. If you go to the Steelers,
He needs to retire.
He'll no longer be my top 5 QB list of all time.
What if he goes to the Steelers and wins the Super Bowl?
Dude, that ain't gonna happen.
I know it's not, but what if he did?
Okay, if that happen, I'm putting him top 4 in my list, bro. Top 3. Or top 3, bro.
I love it. Yeah, that would be nuts. That's a good team. That's a good defense. They have a good offense. They got DK. They got DK and George Pickens. That's quite the wide receiver room. But if he's going to stay in the NFL, it has to be the Steelers. That's his only chance to do anything decent. It's at the Steelers. Yeah. So we're going to move on to some baseball. The MLB is starting up this Thursday. So what are your expectations? Let's just go. World Series teams, Dodgers, Yankees. What's your expectations for both?
So Dodgers, they're repeating it all. They're going to win it all again. I think Shohei will win MVP. I don't know if you saw the Tokyo series. I watched it. That dude hit a bomber against the Cubs. Like, literally hit a bomber to seal the game. And Tokyo. And the camera footage was amazing. The replay was amazing. I thought it was a video game at first. I'm like, am I watching a video game here? Like, what am I watching? But it was pretty amazing to see. Yankees. So, I know Gary Cole's out with the Tommy John injury. But they have this one guy who's a stud as a pitcher, bro. I think he might be better than him. I think in my opinion, Garrett Cole needs to retire. And he's just not that good anymore. But the Yankees have young talent. So I think they will not make it all this year. I think the Rangers will actually go to the World Series again. The Rangers will. Because they have a young talent. I've been watching spring training lately. I've been watching it. I'm learning baseball, guys. I'm learning with baseball. Still with me here. I'm learning the history and also the story behind baseball and the iconic figures in baseball and the teams as well. So I think the Rangers, with a young stud they have, they might go all the way. against the Dodgers.
They have to be better than what they were last year. I think they'll have a big bounce back year. But obviously the Dodgers are like the Avengers. They're like the 2017, 2018 Warriors. They're loaded. They have the best player in the league. They have a ridiculous lineup. Their hitting lineup is absurd. And now their pitching is going to be insane, especially if Shohei decides to pitch this year. So yeah, I expect the Dodgers to go back and win. For the Yankees, I don't know. Aaron Judge is probably going to suck it up in the playoffs again. So I don't know. They lost Juan Soto.
Yeah, and Mets are scary too, man.
To the Mets. They lost him to the Mets.
The
Mets should be a lot better.
The Padres are kind of scary too.
So yeah, the Yankees, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We're gonna move to some golf before we wrap it up, guys. Our favorite final topic, because no one likes to hear it, but we like to talk about it. So we save it for the end. So the Valspar Championship happened over the weekend. Trey's guy, he likes him. He likes him more than I think he admits. Justin Thomas.
Yeah, I do like the guy.
Yeah, he has high expectations for Justin Thomas. When we talked in a couple episodes ago, we're talking about who do we want to see, who should win a major. Now, Trey's pick was JT. So,
yeah,
Justin Thomas. So in the Valspar, he lost to Victor Hovland won. He shot 11 under. Justin Thomas shot 10 under. But here's the thing: Justin Thomas bogeyed the last two out of the last 3 holes. So he choked. He choked pretty bad. Do you really think it's reasonable to have major expectations for JT this year?
Yes, I do. He has to win something, man. Here's the deal: he's a great guy. I like his swing a lot. I think he's really good at golf. I'm a big fan of JT. Right now, behind it's Tiger, Roy, and JT, my 3 favorite golfers of all time. And maybe actually no 4 because I like Phil better. But here's the deal. Okay, this guy's still all potential of winning it all, winning it every single tournament he tees it up. He's really good. He's confident. He has a pure swing. In my opinion, he's the best short game in golf right now. Same with the best iron. It's up there with irons with Colin Morikawa, Xander, Scotty, and JT as the best iron game right now in golf. But JT, you have to win it, man. He has to win something, Nick. He has to win something, man.
Yeah.
He has to. It can't be the PGA this year. It has to be the Masters, or it has to be the Masters, the US Open, or the US or the British Open. Yeah. He has to win something, man. He has to win something. He has to. So he needs to win something big time, bro. He's not on the President's Cubs team this year, probably. He won't be on that team probably this year. And that's his favorite. That's USA GT. It's dangerous.
Yeah, I'm a little concerned about that finish. He has to just anything, a tournament. It doesn't have to be a major. I just don't know. I got to see better from Xander. I got to see better from Xander. He had a great year last year. He's done nothing this year. He's barely been in contention. Yeah, Scotty has as well. We'll see if Scotty's able to pick it up in the major. We have our first major coming up pretty soon here. Everyone knows the Masters is coming up next month. So excited for that. That's my favorite. That's top 3 favorite sports events for me. Same. I think it might be number 1. I love the Masters so much. It might be number 1. If I have the opportunity, I watch every single round, and if I don't, I record them and watch them. Love the Masters. Super excited for that. Rory, dude, please complete the career Grand Slam. I will cry. But JT's got to step it up. That was a pretty bad choke. Unfortunate after a fantastic round. He shot a 66 still, but he was 7 under going into 16. He ended up bogeying the last 2 and 3. He had a chance to win it. And, prove Trey's point about him winning a major, right? Like setting it up, well, coming into form. He is coming into form, at least. That's something. He's coming into form. Maybe he'll be able to get back into the winner's circle here pretty soon. But yeah, guys, that's going to wrap us up for today. I want to thank you guys again so much for tuning in. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, ask questions. We'd love to answer your questions, whatever you have. But yeah, we're excited. Texas Tech plays basketball on Thursday. I'm really excited for that. So thank you guys again so much. We appreciate y'all, and we will see you in the next episode. Peace out.